Kind of how when I develop the program, the grand scheme when it comes to strength and conditioning with these guys is develop that strength base first. Like I said, I like to call that the foundation. Everything else builds off of having strength. So strength first. Getting into MMA specific drills or power or flexibility. If you don't have that strength base, then those other things can't excel. So when we're doing our strength training, if we're outside of a camp, really just focus on strength training first, and it's nothing necessarily MMA specific. We just do a lot of larger compound lifts, maybe some cleans, some deadlifts, some squats for the lower body, and your basic, some bench press. I do more dumbbell bench press than straight bar, and that's getting a little bit more kind of into the specifics, but a basic push movement and a pull movement, like pull-ups, a lot of rowing movements for the back of the body, and that's just for the upper body. So we're just building that strong, solid strength base for upper body, lower, and then we can get into more of our power movements, our MMA specific movements once we have that. And I think that's important, not just from a long-term perspective, but from an injury prevention standpoint, which we were talking earlier is that's kind of become my focus now, as opposed to when I first started working with MMA athletes. It was how do I get them to puke and hate me and curse me out, and I was just doing them a disservice. If anything, they're overtraining, which happens a lot in this field, and I'm just crushing their central nervous system. They're not getting any recovery time. So I had a switch, and basically a lot of it just came from knowledge and learning. Is that let's just try to get these guys better and focus more on results, and so that's what we're doing now. A little shorter, straighten that left foot. There you go.
No, that's my forearm. Not my wrist.
I'm not going to tell you what muscles are working. I'm going to say which muscles are working.
Yeah, no.
Good. All the way down, short, just like that. Yeah. Good. When you get to the end, you're just going to reverse it and go backwards. Feeling the burn? So I just pick it up, nice and tall, boom. So it's explosive on the way down. Moving and tension.
About how many of these am I trying to do?
We'll do 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just coming up with everything.
Good, yeah. Nice.
How big is it? Is it a little? Is it like a background or the ones that you actually sit in?
It's a good old fashioned skip like we do when we were kids, just opposite arm and leg, just driving the knee and the opposite arm. Knee and the opposite arm.
Rented one and you actually sit in it with
Good.
whoever.
No, the one that I have. First one's always the hardest. It's been a while since I've seen it, right? But we're just
The stronghold kind of standing up.
trying to reinforce a cross body pattern here. Do a lot of step, punch, it's all cross body. And a lot of people do this first.
Yeah.
But you watch, we were born knowing how to do it.
Yeah.
We do it all the time, but it's funny when we lose it if we don't do it. So it's just to help re-ingrain that pattern across body. So yeah. No, not. I'm just about to text you. So many phases when it comes to MMA, and with all the different martial arts that there is, all the different stand-ups, from Muay Thai to boxing to all the different groundwork, wrestling and jiu-jitsu. So there's so many different phases. That strength and conditioning is just one of those pieces of the puzzle. And at the end of the day, if you have two guys of equal skill, equal MMA skill, I think the guy with the better conditioned, stronger guy is going to have that upper hand. Of course, heart is a huge part of it, but I think a lot of that can get developed and improved with the strength and conditioning as well. So I think it's crucial, just because what I said before, having that strength base, everything else can build off that. Well, I think your jiu-jitsu and your Muay Thai and things can improve if you're stronger, more flexible, and have some more explosiveness, more power, which you get in the strength training. Of course, yeah, those things will develop in the when you do your skill-specific training, but why not complement it with some of that strength and conditioning? Not necessarily need access to a great gym. Showed you the TRX. You know, we have enough weight on our bodies to get a great workout, great strength and conditioning workout with our own body. I mean, go to the park, do a set of sprints, some squats, some push-ups, bear crawls, things like that. In 10 minutes, you're going to be dripping sweat. So there's great ways to get workouts in without having plates and dumbbells and kettlebells. And I love all the toys and tools that are available, but they're not necessarily required. So if you don't have access to them, it's not a valid excuse in my book. I think there's ways around it. My website, I do offer some online training, and I work with a couple people currently. Ironically, no one in the States. Everyone's from out of the country, and some from countries I never even heard of, which is kind of cool. The power of the internet. I'll admit I'm a little behind the time. I mean, I'm doing some online training. It's not something I advertise and do a ton of. I have a handful of clients, but and I say I'm behind the time because nowadays there's so much available with apps and everything else, and you know, you can download workouts now and things like that where you can follow along. You can, but so I guess I'm a little archaic in the sense that I'll maybe send you a spreadsheet with the program. We'll talk maybe via Skype so I can see form and things like that, make sure you're good to go, and then you're off and running. I think those are great for motivated people. I mean, at the end of the day, trainers have jobs because clients wouldn't do it otherwise if we didn't hold them accountable and motivate them by being there, knocking on their door, or, you know, getting in their face a little bit.